Alright, well, I wanted to record this. This place is absolutely fucking incredible. Let me just tell you something. How do I switch this camera over? Alright, well, take a look right here. Look at this. Forget about it. Absolutely blessed. And I have two beautiful, healthy children, a loving wife, a perfect mother to my kids, and that I am so fucking tanned right now. And I actually feel like 8 layers underneath this tan. I feel like John Gotti went to Aruba. Nah, not Aruba. I feel like Jimmy Hoffa dug out of his grave, went back old school to Mexico. What's that place in Mexico that got shut down? Anyways, lots of sailboats, fish, white sand, a lot of tans. That music here in the background is just Instagram place. Real fancy, pink, like in San Tropez. Had a Rosé on the beach. Sat in the water in the white sand. Probably take me in and out. I found a empty baggie of Blanco underneath my seat. Doesn't surprise me too much. Beautiful place though. Headed home tomorrow. Ready to come back. Got a lot of sand. My body feeling like ate sand. I haven't been this tan in my life. Through a whole goddamn thing of tan amplifiers. What is it called? Intensifier. Intensifier. Yeah. Anyways, I'll leave it at that. Beautiful people. Real sunny. Real hot.
I can feel the squinting. I can feel the sand in my mouth. I can feel the sand in my shorts. I can smell the beach. I can feel the tide. I miss it. Post-trip depression, I think it's called. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Welcome to the Ben Stortini Show, where stories drift between worlds and forgotten moments find new life. Let's begin our journey. Let's go. And welcome back, everybody, to the Ben Stortini Show. I'm your host, of course, Mr. Ben Stortini. That's BENSTORTINI. And how are you today? I'm going to give you 2.5 seconds. Let's go. 1, 2, half. Well, I'm happy to hear if you're doing well. And I feel terrible that you're doing bad. So let's get the bad to good and keep the good to good, right? Let's do this. Okay, so I'm back. I'm back from St. Maarten. What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful island that is. So let's go. I'm feeling quite relaxed. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling tanned, real tanned. I've never been this dark in my life. Like this is some dark shit right now. I wanted to basically go on this vacation and make this a relaxing one. I put my foot down with the lady. I said, listen, France, I give it 2 out of 10. I gave the France trip 2 out of 10. There was pretty much zero relaxation in that trip, to be completely honest with you. I mean, there were a couple of moments, but that was 2 weeks of just gotta go to the doctor. You know that? This trip, there was really almost none of that. We had this beautiful condo. You know, there was 6 units. We were on the 2nd floor, so 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom, overlooking the ocean, white sand beach, steps away. So literally, you just walk downstairs, and you just go. You're here. Sun chairs, sun beds. I love sun. You know what I mean? And if you have to go inside, it's just right there. And they're cleaning your room while you do it. So it was beautiful. That sun is heavy. Let's get into the sun first of all. Didn't do much of nothing except lay in that sunbed. As you saw that video off top. I didn't do much more than that. I laid there and I just let that sun smack the shit out of me for about 7 days, 6, 7 days. It was beautiful. I drank rosé. So I guess that's my thing. I go on vacation and I drink rosé. It was a perfect combination. It was like Pinky Rings and John Gotti. It was like Acapulco and John Gotti. You know what I mean? It just kind of goes together. It was funny. I was sitting there. On the chair. I don't know what day it was. Doesn't matter. It all blends into one with that beautiful sunshine. And I just had, like, I was so relaxed that I had my hands just like laying off the side of the bed and my head cocked this way. So my hand was kind of, this hand, my left hand was just digging through the sand on the side, just kind of like playing with the sand, feeling Mother Earth, Mother Gaia. I felt this little piece of plastic, so I lifted it out, and it was an empty bag of yayo, empty bag of that blanco, some of that Colombian peanut butter, you know? And I looked at it like, of course, of course. So I just, laid it, rest in peace, dug it a big hole, and just, because I didn't want to get up. That's not part of the plan. So I just dug a deeper hole and just put it deeper, sent it back down to hell. And yeah, I think that was the day. Actually, there was this. So let me set the scene. So yes, I explained the condo, the beach, the beautiful tide, Mother Earth, the lungs of the world just all day. Beautiful. And the sun just, hello, Ben, hello, Ben, hello, Ben. So dark. I look like like my chest and my arms are as dark as, let me compare, not purple dark, so I'm not that dark. I'm just real dark. Anyways, so we're on the one end of the beach. There's people on horseback. You know what I mean? One of those beaches, like postcard shit. Crawl to the beach, crawl into the water, and then crawl back. And we're on the one end, which is very quiet. And if you go all the way to the other end, it's a little busier down there. And they have this, the restaurants. Oh, just delicious food, by the way. My God, the food. They had these traditional Caribbean barbecues. They're called Lolos. And we went there, you get your barbecue chicken, your potato salad, your this and that, your coleslaw. And it was just, mamma mia, it was good. It was good. We went to 4 different ones, and the one, I forget what the name of it was. Was it Cynthia's? Can't remember, but that chicken that I had was, there's no words to explain it. I don't want to get ChatGPT involved to try to explain how good that chicken is, because AI will never understand how good that was. It was just perfectly juicy, not dried out. So yeah, there was just a whole lot of beach going. So I have this Scotty Barnes Florida State jersey, which it's repping the Raptors in a sense because of Scotty Barnes, but it's got this American flag right here, like just big ass American flag. And so it always confuses people, right? When I wear it, especially when I'm on vacation. I got the same thing in France. Like, oh, are you American? I was like, no, I'm not American. And here it was funny. We went into this one restaurant and this guy like flipped his switch who was serving us. He's like, y'all. He kept saying y'all. And I was like, listen, I know why you're saying y'all. You're saying y'all because you think we're American. I made the mistake of wearing this jersey tonight to dinner, and I shouldn't have, because I'm confusing you. Evidently, I'm confusing you. I'm Canadian. I'm not American. You know what I mean? But I will talk about Americans. There was quite a bit of Americans there. So we're on the French side. We're not on the Dutch side. We did travel into the Dutch side for a day and a half, and that's where all the cruise ships go. So you get all these like cruise ship people, and that, let me tell you, folks and friends, are some Americans. They are big. They're sweating. They looked a little stressed. They weren't sure, what to do, touching land again. And they all got their, they're repping where they're from, what state. This guy's got a Georgia hat on. This guy's got an Alabama hat on. You know what I mean? And super American. But on our French side, on our beautiful calm beach, I ran into 2 American couples. The first was Gino from Boston. I kept saying, yo, it's Boston Gino over here, right, with his wife. And they would walk the beach picking up this stained, what's it called? Burnt sea glass. And there's all this like green and brown sea glass that you can find in the sand. And they bring it home back to Boston, and they make these Christmas trees out of it. pretty cool. So I got talking to him, right? You're from Boston. I'm from Toronto. We got talking. And he's like, I just want to say something. And he was Italian. He was older than me. He's like, I just want to say something, man. I'm like, what is it? He goes, I go, oh no, where's he going with this? He goes, I want to apologize for my country. And I said, oh, I appreciate that, man. He goes, yeah, it is and I thought, because he was in law enforcement, I thought he was on that side, but he's like, this is so messy. I said, I want to shake your hand on that, man. And it was cool. So it was cool that he did that, right? And then it was the day before we left. I met another American. So they were Italian, Italians from Boston. Then we met this couple from Florida. Originally, the guy's family was from Cuba and his wife was from Ecuador, and they lived in Miami. And they were telling us a story. She was telling me a story in the water about how crazy it is down in Florida, that she was so scared with ice that she'd carry her papers everywhere she goes. In her neighborhood, helicopters flying over her neighbors' houses. And it's like stormtroopers going into people's houses searching for illegals, right? Because it's just absolutely wild. And I got talking to both of them, and both of them, again, they were very so apologetic, and they were grossed out about what was going on. And they're like, we're sorry. And I'm like, you know what? Yes, thank you for that, because the shit that your country has been throwing away is so disrespectful. And I told them that. I looked them right in the eyes. It's so disrespectful. And hearing it from you, I want to thank you for that. You know what I mean? So it was cool. So it was Americans being very apologetic. Now, I don't know if that was because they're just hiding their true colors, or if this was completely, honest and true and from their heart. I don't know. Either way, very apologetic Americans. Just before I forget, there's two brands. Walking where those restaurants are, when I mentioned about where all those restaurants are on the other side of the beach, right? I found this brand. There's two things. I want to give them a shout out before I forget. Two brands. The first brand is called C'est La Vie. And C'est La Vie was this cafe that I guess got just demolished in Hurricane Irma. And so after that, they created this brand called C'est La Vie. And, we got smashed by a hurricane. C'est La Vie. We got to pick up the pieces and keep moving, right? So they had these really cool T-shirts and hats and everything. So I had to support, especially with that story, a nice logo. Bought a T-shirt. It's upstairs just to support, right? And then there was this other brand on the same block called Love. And Love is only in St. Maarten. And Love is just it's this hotel that's right on the water, such a chill vibe, and they have hats. It's all beach gear. And I really wanted to pick something up, but I didn't when we were on the beach. But then when we got to the airport and we were leaving, sure enough, they have a storefront in the airport, the St. Maarten airport. So I got talking to the guy who ends up being the founder and the owner, this French guy. And he started telling me the story behind it all. And they have no online presence because they don't want to have to charge somebody $90 for a t-shirt because of the customs and the shipping. So the only way you can get any of their clothes is you have to go to St. Maarten to get it. And I bought this t-shirt right here. This camel run right here. And it says Love right here. And it's got it on the back too. I don't know if you can see that. It's just Love. Great logo. Such a good vibe behind them. Got to meet the owner and the founder. Him and his wife. His wife is a designer. And that C'est La Vie, full circle, that C'est La Vie brand that I met, they actually designed the logo for them too. So it's all interconnected. They bring in local artists. It's just so cool. And so I had to support them on that. So yeah, look them up. C'est La Vie and Love. Where do we go, man? Dutch side, French side. It was just beautiful. I just needed that. I needed that reset. I really did. I needed that relaxation. It felt good not to be online. It felt really good to not be worrying about editing up shorts and posting shit on YouTube. It felt good. So I'm gonna bring back a bit of that. I'm just gonna put less. I don't know what it is. I just want to relax a bit with it. I'm still gonna put out one episode per week, but I need to just chill. I need to chill. You know, this is for the people that want to hear it, and for those that don't, that's fine. And if there's only a handful of you listening, I hope you enjoy it, man. Here's one story I gotta tell you. This was funny. So this was midweek, laying on that sunbed, and upstairs, Stello and Sharon were upstairs. I don't know what they were doing. So, they were sleeping. They were having a nap. Stella was knocked out. So was Sharon. Sharon got so sunburnt. And she's dark anyways. And she just came. She was purple. And Stello, he tans real well too. So I'm sitting outside, laying outside with Luna. And Luna keeps pressuring me, come in the water. I'm like, listen, I just wanna soak this sun in. Let's just soak this sun in. So all of a sudden, though, the clouds come in, and there was no sun. And this was like a good 15, 20 minutes. I'm like, this is not good. This was the only time that the clouds came in and said, fuck you to my sun party, right? So I'm laying there, and Luna's timing with this was hilarious. She goes, Daddy, are you Ra the sun god? I was like, yeah. I could be, yeah. She goes, well, can you get rid of these clouds? I said, yeah, I guess if I am Ra, the sun god. I've had like 3 heavy glasses of rosé by this point. So I should have the power to get rid of these clouds. Yes, Luna, yes. I'm going to get rid of these clouds. And she says, okay, how are you going to do it? I said, well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to close our eyes. I swear to God this happened. We're going to close our eyes and we're going to go like this. And we're going to push the clouds away. And then I'm going to look down at my watch and I'm going to tell you what time these clouds go away. She said, all right. I said, all right. So we did that, pushing the clouds away. I looked at my watch. I still remember. I said, you know what? The sun's going to come back. It was about 1:37. I said, the sun's going to come back at about 2:03. She said 2:03. I said 2:03. The sun is gonna come back. So we're waiting, laying. I'm like, yeah, I'm starting to believe that I possibly am Ra, the sun god. And you can tell looking down the beach at the other end when the sun starts coming, because it's hitting the white sand way over there first, and it starts traveling, like walking towards you. It's dripping towards you. It's traveling back to where it should be, onto my skin. 145 comes, 150 comes. And I'm like, oh my God, look at that. Clouds are starting to disperse. 159, oh my God. Luna's looking at me like, oh, this is weird. You might actually get the right time. I put both my hands down. I'm looking at my watch and I'm like, 2:01. I close my eyes. 2:02. And I'm like, Luna, here comes the sun. And I went like this. I blew the clouds away. Swear to God. Sun came back at 2:03. Looked down at my watch. I was on the minute when that sun came back. She's like, you really are Ra, the sun god. I said, yes, maybe I am. It was one of the highlights of the trip, actually, because that was like a good hour and a half or however long that was of chilling with her on the beach, and that's how it ended. Even when Sharon came down, Luna's like, you won't believe it, Dad is Ra the sun god, he told the clouds to go away. And it was hilarious. It was amazing. One of the highlights of the trip for sure. And then there was this one night, I don't want to keep rambling, but there was this one night I had an espresso martini, and I had it on the beach with dinner. And it was like 2 of the things. So as you know, I don't drink that. I drink on vacation now, I guess. And I love coffee, as you see right here. The combination of those 2, let me tell you. I had that martini. I said, all right, we finished dinner. We finished the martini. We started walking the beach home, going back to our hotel. I said, no, we're not going back yet. No. Let's go in there and dance with the kids. It was only 7 o'clock. But I was like, let's have one more. I haven't been like that in a long time. So we went inside this place called Captain Frenchie's. And there's a DJ in there. He gives me daps. I go find this spot with a couch in the back, like old school Cadillac lounge, right? But I have my 2 kids and I have my lady. Order some rosé. We sit down and we're listening to, they were playing Billie Jean, man. And there's Stello in front of me just running back and forth, dancing. And then there's Luna. She's having a good time, and I'm sitting there. I'm just like, I'm having a good time, and that was that. We finished our rosé and we went home. It was just one of those weird highlights where I haven't done something like that in a long time, where it was like, no, let's go in there, let's have a drink. I haven't done something like that in a very long time, so it was cool that I did that with my kids and my wife. We were still back home by like 8 o'clock, so that was really fun. That was before we switched worlds. This is a funny one. I wrote it down right here. So we were at the St. Maarten airport, just bought this t-shirt, and we're about to leave, right? Come back to Toronto. And I'm waiting for Sharon and Luna to come back out of the bathroom. So I'm standing outside of the bathroom in the airport with Stello. And this guy comes up to me, white dude. He looks Canadian, and he's like, hey, how you doing? Older, he's probably like 50 something. I'm like, all right, how you doing, man? You have a good vacation? Yeah, it's like small talk. And I'm like, but it was kind of weird because he hadn't gone anywhere with the conversation. I'm like, so, this is exactly what I say. So what's up? And he goes, I saw you coming here on the plane. I was like, okay. He goes, I was just wondering, like, this is what he said. He goes, you're very, very fit. I wanted, like, are you a fighter? He said, are you a fighter? I was like, no, not a fighter. No, not at all, actually. But I was like, blah, blah, blah. I run, I do this, I do that. He's like, yeah, man. I was like, he goes, you inspired me. I wanna get in shape when I get home. I was like, oh, thanks for that, man. So I was like, gave him dabs, and we went on our way. I thought that was pretty cool that he just kind of opened up like that. Said that. Oh, and there was spliffs everywhere, man. I'll just lay down on that beach before we switch roads, laying on my beach bed, and you could just smell it coming, just like a power spliff. Like this was not regular weed that was on this island, on this beach, and you could smell it coming. And then you see these like two dudes, there's these two dudes, I remember they would just walk back and forth. There was this one dude who was from the island. He called me, hey, Bin Laden. he always was like, boom. He smoked power spliffs. These things were like this big, and you could smell it. Like, I knew he was coming, and you couldn't see him all the way down the beach, and boom, there he is. But yeah, it was power weed on St. Maarten. I didn't smoke any, but I felt like I got high just smelling it. I ran hills there in the morning, only 20 minutes. And speaking of health, I always go health-wise right here. I'm ready to go on an 8-week. I'm going to get a little bigger, get stronger again. We are going to Montreal to see my sister where she has her baby. She's having her baby in July, so I have about 8 more weeks. So I'm going to get flip the script a little bit and put on a few pounds, some muscle, get nice and strong again, because I'm depleted after last week. Definitely depleted. I came home because I didn't do anything, right? I ran a little bit in the mornings, and they had like this like prison gym thing that I found where I had tires and dip bars and pull-up bars and that. But other than that, I didn't do shit. So I'm back at the gym, back eating, back on track. So we'll see what happens in 8 weeks. But I feel good. That's that, man. Why don't we go switch worlds? Let's dive in. 3, 2, 1. Who am I going to give a shout out to? You know what? I want to give a shout out to everyone on that island of St. Maarten. They were such nice, kind, genuine people. At least the people that I met. So I want to give a shout out to every single one of you that I had the opportunity to meet and have conversations with. Even the ones not from that island, like the Americans that I met. I'll give a shout out to all of you. The world would be a much better place if we all just chilled out and got along. Wouldn't it? Just all got to sit back, feel the tide, feel the sun, smell the spliff, and hear the music. So shout out to you, St. Maarten. Shout out to all of you that I met there. Let's go. How about that picture, huh? Shit, I look like I was in a shipwreck. I look like I was lost at sea for weeks. And then just kind of found myself on a beach. I remember looking at myself in the mirror after that there. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. I looked like I was in a shipwreck. Literally in a what do you call it? A lifeboat, just lost eating fucking birds. And the one thing I did get burnt, definitely, but I got, like I said, I just keep mentioning it. My tan is fucking ridiculous. But the one thing that I got caught slipping with was my lips. I didn't put on SPF stuff on my lips, and this bottom lip went from I woke up and it was swollen and it was cut up and it was so burnt and so ravaged. I had to go to the store to get some of that SPF 5000 and put it on my lips, and it was just so painful. I could barely eat. So any of you that are going to go on vacation and plan on drenching yourself in the sunshine God's rays of life, put something on your lips. That's my point. Don't let your lips get ravaged like that, because I was fucked up and it's still healing to this day. And welcome back, everybody, to the Stortini verse. So let's get going with this. Where are we going to go with the music this week? Well, I was going through my playlist in Spotify. Like, where am I going to go with this? Do I go with some of the music that I've been listening to, that I was listening to on the trip? Or do I go, this? Or do I go that? And it was funny, too. I was going to pick the new MIA album, because last episode, before the little musical one with my guys, I was like questioning, religion, and I still am. I swear to God, the next day after I did that episode, I checked my release radar on Spotify, and what pops up is the first tune. It's called Jesus by MIA. Like I said, I'm not going to be pushing this shit. This is my own little thing that I got to figure out, so I'm not going to play that. But that really happened, so that was really weird. That kind of freaked me out, actually. All right, so with the music, what we're going to do, I am completely so motivated right now, fitness-wise, as I always am, but I am just jacked, ready to go, coming back after this trip. Like, I am focused. So what we're going to do here, I was watching this documentary last night about this guy named Jamie Vardy. It's the Untold series, but a UK version. This soccer dude, he was just a really good story of, coming from the bottom, literally ending up at the top. So I was just so focused, and it reminded me of when I was, training for my running and training for this and that. And I went into an old playlist. It was my playlist that I played training for my second run, the one that I ran the 420 pace and I got top 60. I got 60th out of 2,000 runners, the one that killed me. But one of the songs on that playlist, called Supreme Dub by this dude named Six Block. This tune, whenever it would pop up in my playlist, impossible not to run fast. So I want to play that for you. I guess you could call this as part of my personal collection of tunes. Imagine running to this. Oh, yo.
I will play for you a God that no sound in the world can play.
And just zoom. No one could touch me. Hey. Yeah, so that's Six Block. Look him up, man. Six Block spelled 6 BLOCC. Six Block. You want to go and start running, you want to do some cardio, you put that shit on. All right, second tune that we're going to play here is a song that I was playing while I was in St. Maarten. It's called the Mexican Institute of Sound, man. And this is Bienvenidos a mi disco. Welcome to my disco. It's a vibe. was playing this while we were there. Sand all in my shorts, sand in my mouth, sand in my ears, sand in my hair, sand in my beard, sand in my nose, sand in my toes, sand everywhere. Mexican Institute of Sound. He's actually got a new album coming out May 26th, I believe. And I checked, he put out a couple of tunes that are going to be on there. And I'm digging it. All right, so let's jump into the documentary of the book. I'm going to jump into the book. I finished Dark Matter. And Dark Matter, let me tell you, that is probably this. I murdered that book. I was done so quick and so fast. Not sure if I had mentioned it, that I finished it yet. But I finished it. It's probably one of the best books I've ever read. It's not the best book I ever read, but it's one of the best books I ever read. It was incredible. Really twisted my mind up. Great book. Yes, I did mention this already. But my birthday fell on May 11th. That's my birthday. But it fell on when we were on vacation. And one of the gifts that they had got me, which my daughter and my wife, my son, was my favorite book, American Dirt, which to this day is still my favorite book I've ever read. And they bought the hardcover for me. So that was great. I'm going to jump into that again soon. But the book I'm reading right now is called Solito. And it is, I'm only, I think I'm like 100 pages in right now. But this book, let me tell you something. The story of this. So it's this kid, Javier, from El Salvador. And his parents, I guess, had already left to go to LA in the early 90s. And they've been trying to get him to come up to LA with them. So he's still in El Salvador while his parents, his mom and dad, are in LA. And they're trying their hardest to get him up there with them, right? Long story short, they have a coyote, a guy who can get him there. He's the same guy who got his mom up to LA from El Salvador. So the story so far is him leaving with this coyote and his grandfather, and right now they're in Guatemala and they're about to travel into Mexico. They've been taking buses and they're with these other people and getting to know these people, where they're staying. They're staying in this storefront, and you know the how the food is paid for but the dinner isn't, and just the stress of the other people that are around them, and the emotions, the way it's written. You can feel that it's through his eyes. And he was 9 years old at the time when he made this big trip on his own. His grandfather's taking him to this, I believe, just to Guatemala. And then from this point on, he's going to be on his own with a group of 6 others that are making the same trip, and the coyote, Don Dago. So I'm stuck in this book. I love it. It's called Solito, so look it up. And the challenge for this week, a challenge for you, a challenge you can take home this weekend. What can it be? You know what I mean? Unplug. I felt great. Not going to say I felt great not doing this show. Not that I don't like this part of it. It's the whole having to look at a screen. That's the part I don't like. I love getting this out into the microphone, but I hate looking at the screen. I hate it. And it's more evident when you go away and you pull your head and you pull your eyes away from, like, I didn't look at my phone barely while I was gone. So what I want you to do, I think it was one of the first challenges, it was episode 1, I think, just get off your phone. So I'm going to keep saying it. Get off your phone for the weekend. Unplug, and just get out of it. Because you will feel, I guarantee you will feel better. It's poison for the mind. It's poison for the eyes. Like my eyes, before we left on the trip, my one eye was like twitching. What the fuck, man? So let's get away from screens, unplug for the weekend. Do it. Hide your phone upstairs, man. It's garbage. Think about it. Why are we checking our email all the time? Email was just created to just make things faster for mail. That's it. But why do we were able to wait for the mail to reach the door. Why are we checking constantly every minute for some bullshit? Like it's something life-changing is going to be in there. And that's just email. Now everything else. So unplug. Get out of there, man. But just download this episode. That's the only thing. Just go to Spotify. All right, where do we end this? So, like I said before, I have all my old music. So, if you want to stick around after I say bye, I'm going to have an old tune that I think that relates kind of to this episode. I'll play it on the back end of this episode if you want to stick around. Other than that, please have a good weekend. Like I always tell you, man, stay clean. I saw some nasty ass grills while we were out there. Some people that just aren't brushing their teeth real well, have forgotten how to brush their teeth as they get older. So floss, brush your teeth, shower, stay clean, wash your face. You know another thing I got reminded of, iron your shit. Iron your stuff, man. I got my Dickies. Like I used to iron all the time. People that know me back in the day, I used to iron all my shit. Starch and iron, man. I used to look up YouTube videos on how to iron real good. East Los good. I'm back to ironing. Ironing my shirts, my t-shirts, my pants. You know what I mean? Make sure if you wear socks that they're nice and white. I broke my favorite pair of sunglasses, by the way, when we were out there. So now I'm on this, like, trying to find new sunglasses. I bought those ones that are in the picture on the episode art. But I just feel like I don't know if I should be wearing those around the city. I don't know. But I ordered a pair off of Etsy. A nice pair that's coming from the UK, actually. We'll see if these work. But yeah, so take care of your shit. Take care of your body. Take care of your mind. Sleep. Eat well. Exercise. And show yourself some self-love and respect. Because building a dad bod is disrespectful. It's disrespectful. I saw some dad bods on that beach that is just, it's disrespectful to yourself, to your wife, to your kids. And I'm serious about that. Like, your kids are looking at you and your fat ass like, oh, so that's normal? Oh, I guess, diabetes and heart attack is normal. So that's just how it is. No, it's not. No, it's not. You're being disrespectful to yourself. And so stop doing that. Okay? Eat some goddamn vegetables. Remind your brain of what a fruit tastes like. And drink some goddamn water. Gatorade is not water. Powerade is not water. Okay? Stop it. All right. Let's go. Love you. Thanks for taking the time to jump in the portal with me. But do me one favor, alright? Hit subscribe on Amazon, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube, and leave a 5-star review so the algorithm kisses this podcast and sends it out to the streets looking good. Have a great weekend, please. And don't ever forget, this guy right here, he loves you. Okay, for those that stuck around, like I said, I'm going to play a tune here that I think kind of goes along with this whole trip that I had. And yeah, it's off of I was going to do, which one do I do? I got two. You know what I mean? You know what? I'm going to stick with this one. I'm going to do, fuck it. We're going to do this one called Stoked. And it's from that Narlical album. And I just think that, yeah, let me just play this song, see what you think. All right, enjoy. Ever since I met you, you've always been horny. The way you dress, the way you move,
The way we touch when you're in the mood makes me totally stoned.
Totally wanna get stoned with you. I wanna touch everything on you. I wanna jump in the pool with you. I totally wanna get stoned with you. I'm happy with having met my new friend. Am I stoked or am I falling off the deep end?
My rad radar is set to maximum.
Isn't this fun?
Just relaxing.
Just met you, I really like you. Maybe you could be my totally stoked new boo.
I know, I think you're totally cool. I'll leave my phone number on your dresser.